Welcome back to the Stebbins Garage YouTube channel. In the final episode of the Focus ST build, I'm going to go ahead and diagnose the engine issues. This was something that was kind of a long process, and it took place over the last month or so. I went with the kind of easiest option first, which was to replace the turbo in case it had a bad oil seal. As you'll see, that was not the case, and so later on in the video I'll be replacing the engine, and then we'll finalize the project. And it's actually already sold, so thank you to everybody that reached out wanting to buy it. I did sell it to somebody already, and he's super happy with it. So I hope you enjoy the video. It's a really long one. I'm going to go ahead and leave a lot of the stuff that I did in here, just in case you want to see the process that I went through to figure out all the problems and get those sorted out. And I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I appreciate each of you. Okay, I've extracted that bolt that was stripped. I don't know if I showed that, but just welded a nut on it, heated it up enough to get this heat shield off. This is our replacement turbo. We'll be replacing that heat shield with the one off the car. I've already gotten the top bolt off on the car, so I'm gonna have to take that loose. Let's look at what we got here. Okay, so there's our turbo. So you can see we've got quite a few things we've got to take loose. We've got to take loose the charge pipe. I've already got the charge pipe up top. There's some coolant lines. The big thing will be getting the exhaust manifold bolts off, but I can't get to those yet because I have to get the heat shield off first. I've read that some people say it's way easier if you take out the passenger side axle. I don't know if we're going to do that or not. We may just take that loose and maybe make that easier on us. I don't know. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and take that charge pipe loose. I may actually just take this whole charge pipe here off, give us some room to work. So I'm going to work on that. I'll update you. I'm not going to put you on a time lapse because this is tedious work. Quick update. Old turbo is out. New turbo is mostly cleaned up. Got some of the stuff on it that we'll need to be able to make it work. Broke the V-band bolt. So not the end of the world. I'll just order one. Everything else went well. So there's where our turbo goes. And it's kind of tight getting it in and out. This line is a pain. But otherwise I think we'll be all right. I have the turbo back in. Everything is connected. Everything's tight except for the downpipe. I'm getting ready to do that. I ended up putting a block of wood there to hold the engine forward just enough so that I could squeeze the turbo in. That worked perfect. Wish somebody would have told me that. Did you know that trick? Let me know in the comments if you did. Anyway, I got to put on the charge pipe, connect the rear motor mount and the exhaust bracket, and that clamp. And my wife was kind enough to go and get me a new one because I broke the other one. This sucker snapped off. Not a big deal. Well, it was $48. The hell, Ford. But we're ready to go back in. So this car came with a few extra wheels. I think we can get a nice set together. And then it also came with the stock exhaust. I'm sorry, the stock intake. And it has a CPE exhaust on it I'm not the hugest fan of, so we're going to grab all of this stuff out of here and work on putting the stock intake back on the car. Alright, we got the intake all cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and fit that back in the car, starting with the turbo side, and we're going to kind of put this all back where it goes. Engine bay is back together. Stock intake is back on it. I need to put the tray on and we can connect this imposer. I think I'm going to go ahead and put that fiberglass piece in there, and I need to put some more coolant back in it that we lost from doing the turbo swap. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw the headlights in it, I guess. I don't need them out anymore. All right, I'm ready to go ahead and start this sucker up. Gonna open the door. I still got it on the lift. That way we can check for leaks and stuff like that, but I'm gonna open the door. I expect it's probably going to still blow a little bit of smoke from whatever residual stuff is in the exhaust. And I'm good with that. Okay, door's open. So let's go ahead and start it and see what it does. All right, hood open. No other check engine lights. Sweet. It's running a little bit rough now. All right. Let's go see if we got any coolant leaks. Nope, nothing leaking. So there is a very faint oil smelling stuff coming out, but like I said, I expected that. I'm gonna pull this thing outside and let it warm up since we don't have any leaks. Okay, this thing started running kind of rough. The check engine light came on, so I'm gonna go back and scan it real quick. I didn't even make it to the end of the driveway. Let's see what we got. O2 sensor signal based stuck lean bank 1 sensor 1. Yeah, we still got something going on here. That's so weird. So at this point I decided that since I had something going on, I was going to go ahead and do a compression test just to see if we had low compression in any of the cylinders. As you'll see, basically all 4 of them were perfect at 150, and that obviously is not the issue. Almost 150. All right, well, unless something's terribly wrong with this other one, we don't have a compression issue either, which is good news. Okay, all the cylinders were around 150. We don't have a compression issue, so I'm gonna go ahead and put plugs back in it. Got the plugs back in, all torqued, got everything plugged up. You may notice that I've labeled the coils and I've got them reversed. That's because I actually flipped them, because there is a permanent code in the computer for a misfire on cylinder 1 and 2, which should be this one and this one. It's not an active code, so it should clear after some drive cycles. I haven't gotten to drive this very much, but I went ahead and flipped them because if it is still an issue with the coil, then we'll see it on 3 and 4. So I'm going to leave those on for now. And got everything else good, so we should be ready to go ahead and start it and see what happens. Well, after a few minutes, we lost about half of our pressure, and what that means is, for me, that means that this probably has a cracked head on the exhaust side, which is why we're not seeing anything on the combustion side of things. In this case, it's probably easiest just to swap out the engine, so I'm gonna go source an engine for this thing, and that will address the smoky problem that we're seeing. It was one of a couple things, and I guess I could have done this first. I didn't have this tool, but yeah, that's disappointing, but not unexpected. And when I bought it, I expected to put an engine in it, so that's what we're gonna do. And just a quick reference, here's my daughter's car on the left, properly running, car on the right, something going on with the head. Okay, well today we're on the way to pick up the new engine for the Focus. It's a low mileage Focus and it's a pretty good deal, so we're going about an hour away to pick that up. I'm with my son-in-law who's putting gas in the truck right now, and then we're gonna head up there and pick it up. And just like that, we have an engine. It came with the turbo even, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing back to Louisville, back to the shop, and get it swapped out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
One of my favorite things to do is clean up engines and transmissions before they go back in the car, and so here I'm just cleaning all the grime and grease and whatever that was on the engine, with no sense in putting something filthy back in this car because we're trying to make it a really nice example. You'll notice that there's some yellow tape on the inlets for the turbo and the outlet. I've never had a problem pressurizing an engine as long as I'm careful about what I do and make sure I block off all of the important parts. And then you see here I'm blowing it off with some compressed air to get everything back out of it. As you'll see later, it's fine and it's a nice clean example now. So whenever I pull an engine out of a Focus or even a Fiesta, I prefer to go ahead and just pull the front end off of it. It's not really that hard. You pull the bumper, pull the headlights first, and then you pull the radiator support and that whole bracketry. Okay, so quick update. You can see the whole front end is pretty much torn off at this point. I've got a lot of the wiring disconnected over here. I still have to disconnect the slave cylinder, which is down there. That's fairly simple. And then I've got all the coolant lines that still need to come off. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up in the air and put a hose on the drain and get that drained out. The hardest part for me is gonna be getting the axles out and then getting the lower control arms loose from the spindle. For some reason, I just struggle with that. So I bought a tool to do that. This whole front clip will come off once I get the coolant drained out and the hoses disconnected, so that's nice. That'll give us basically the whole front end to just pull the engine and transmission out as one unit. Then we'll put the car up in the air, go to the other side of the garage and marry the transmission and clutch and all that stuff with the replacement engine. So I'm gonna work on that and we'll keep going.
It sound right, boy.
Okay, and so just like that, I've got access to the whole front of the engine. It will basically just come straight out. We'll put there's two hooks here, one here and one here. We'll put a chain on it and then we'll lift it up, take the mounts loose, and it'll all come forward just enough to where we can get it on the ground. So it's fairly straightforward procedure. It's the next morning for me. I'm back at it. Next up, we're going to get the wiring harness off of the bad engine and we're going to transfer everything over to here. I also have to transfer all the accessories along with the belts and pretty much everything else. And then we can leave the turbo, that's fine. So that shouldn't take that long, and then I got to get the transmission off of there and swap that over to here along with the clutch and the flywheel and pressure plate and all that stuff. So I'm going to be working on that, and should be a good time. These are all the parts that I have to go back on, but once this is back together, it can go ahead and go up in that engine bay. So let's get to it. Well, that was pretty anticlimactic. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this up where I can get the clutch and stuff off. Well, that certainly took a little bit longer than I expected, but as you can see, it's all apart. This engine is ready to go in the car. The transmission is over there. I'm gonna clean that up before we put it on the engine. I've got the clutch and the pressure plate, all that looks good, and the flywheel, so we're just gonna put that back in. It's a low mile car, so there should be no issues with that. I think I've got everything. This is the pile of parts. So the new engine, somebody took care of it. It had a Mobil 1 filter on it and stuff, and the oil looked good. I've got everything where it needs to go. The rest of this stuff connects to the car somewhere, and we're pretty much ready to go. So I'm gonna clean up that transmission tomorrow. I've got some fluid for it. We're gonna do a fluid change, and everything else is good. So hopefully I can get this thing mated there and then back up in the car. All right, well, I snuck out here on Sunday. I just wanted to get this kind of married up. So yesterday, the weather was really nice, so I went ahead and cleaned up the transmission. And that is some rust from where the battery, I guess, leaked at some point. I can't get it off, but all the grease is off. You can see I've got the clutch and pressure plate and flywheel and all that stuff on. It's all torqued to spec. Everything looked good there, so there's no reason to change it. So now I'm going to go ahead and jack the engine up. That way I can roll this in place and get those two married up. And then that'll be all I'm doing today. I just wanted to kind of get that ready so that I will be able to get this pile of parts out of here, hopefully in the next day or two, whenever I get some free time. I've got all the fluids ready to go. So let's see what happens. Okay, I finally got that all together. It's ready to go in the car, but there's one thing left that I need to change. And I think I mentioned this. The crankshaft position sensor, for whatever reason, on the Escape engine is different. The plug is different. So here's the one off of the new to us engine. It goes right here, and there's an alignment tool. And as you can see, that's a three-prong. That's a three-prong, but they are not the same. So they won't go together. So we got to pull the sensor off of the old engine and put it on, but there's an alignment tool and it basically aligns it there. We'll have to do a relearn, I think, but I bought the tool on Amazon and it looks, where did I put it? I always lose stuff. Here it is. It looks like this, and this is the sensor we'll be using, and the tool basically just goes like this and then locks onto one of the teeth on the, it's called a reluctor wheel, I think. And so I need to take this off. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, then we'll move it over to the other engine and get this in place, and that will be the last of it. Okay, time has come. Engine, transmission, back in the car. The plan is I've kind of got it set up on stands. We're going to go ahead and let the car down. Then I'll maneuver this thing around and get it where we can kind of get it up in the car and then get the mounts on it. We'll get the two top ones and then come around to the bottom and do the rear one. And then we just start plugging things in, putting the axles in, connecting things, and yeah, if we did our job right, it should be smooth, but I'll keep my fingers crossed. Okay, progress update. Engine's all mounted, everything underneath is pretty much done. Got the struts back in the spindles, axles in, catalytic converters all in. So pretty much we've got just the top side to make all of our connections for the AC and the electrical, which we'll put the PCM back in and the battery, all that stuff. And then the bumper is up there, and that's got kind of the radiator pack. So the radiator, the AC condenser, and the intercooler. And then we'll make our connections there, and then should be ready for first start. Fingers crossed that works. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep plugging away at it. A little while later, we're ready to put the front end back on. Really nothing remarkable. Everything's good. It's got oil in it now and transmission fluid. So pretty much just slide this sucker in place. There's 4 studs on either side. We still have some stuff to hook up, and I will make sure we take care of that. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. Okay, we're ready for first start, we think. See everything that I did wrong.
Accessories good.
Okay. Well, that was all right. What do you think? Yeah. Rev it a little bit. It's not smoking. Look. I mean, there's a little bit, but okay, there's more. All right, you can shut it off. That's got to be left over in the exhaust. There's no way.
Pulled the e-brake.
All right, I went ahead and vacuum filled the system. I'm gonna let it run and get up to temp. Make sure we don't have any other leaks. So far, everything looks good. And I think the yeah. I mean, you saw it before. This is just residual crap that's stuck in the catalytic converter, and it'll burn off. All right, thank goodness. And we don't have any lights on the dash either. I don't have the bumper on, so the fog lights are probably throwing an error, but everything's looking good. Really happy with that. I did fill it up to the max. We're gonna let that sit there and let the thermostat open and all that, get it warm, and then I'll go ahead and fill it up again. It took like over a gallon when I vacuum filled it. My vacuum filler doesn't work very well with the Focus for some reason. So I think we'll be all right. All right, I've been buttoning up a few things now that I've got the car running. It seems to be good there. The Bluetooth does not work. It's Sync 2, and I don't know what's the problem. I've tried updating, I've tried resetting, I've tried all the usual fixes. So now I have a new APIM. I picked this up off Marketplace, and we're gonna go ahead and swap that screen and the APIM out. And I'm gonna first pull the software ForeScan up. We need to pull the as-built data off of it so that it knows how to configure it. Then we'll put that back in this new screen. And hopefully that takes care of it, because I don't know what else it could be. So I've got all the trim removed that I need to remove. And this is the last piece that'll pop out. But first I need to go ahead and turn the car on and pull the software. So we're gonna do that real quick. So here's the symptoms that we have, just in case you're curious. I'm gonna go in here to add a phone. Bluetooth is off. Tell it to turn the Bluetooth on. Then it will tell me to add a phone, but then it's going to tell me the Bluetooth is off again. So we can't get Bluetooth to turn on. So we're going to try swapping this screen with the module behind it and see what happens. All right, so here's the radio with the CD and all that stuff. We don't really need to swap out the CD player. We just need to swap out the screen and the APIM behind it. So okay, and just a quick side note, 1, 2, 3, 4 is all we needed to do. I took some extra ones out that I didn't have to. Okay, and just like that, I have removed, there's only 2 connections on this. So there's one there and one there. That's the USB right at the bottom, and then the other major plug. So not too bad. We're gonna go ahead and go over here to this other APIM. I think it's got nav too, but we're gonna not use that because I don't have a GPS antenna. Okay, as I mentioned, this one has an extra input. I think that's for the GPS antenna, but we're not going to use that. So let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in, powered up, and see if we can get Bluetooth. Okay, we're letting this power up, and then we will see. Oh, I don't have any way to turn the music down. That'll be interesting. Let's go ahead and get my laptop and reconfigure this real quick, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here we go. The guy I got it from was Bobby, and you can see that the Bluetooth is on. I can hit add device.
Sync on your device and select sync once it is found.
I'm going to add my phone. I'm doing that here.
Confirm that the pin displayed on
Pair.
matches the pin displayed on your device.
Yes. Boom. Awesome. You'll also notice that we no longer have the nav thing up here. So when I loaded the as-built data from our other one, it told it now it does not have navigation. So that's fine because we don't have any of that stuff to go along with it. All right, so we can put this back together. I'm gonna do a master reset on this probably, and then we're good there. Now that I've verified that everything's working, we went ahead and did a master reset. I'm gonna put the rest of the car back together and we're done. All right, the final piece of this puzzle is the misfire monitor neutral profile correction. You have to do that anytime that you replace a crank's position sensor or something like that. So we've already aligned it. I don't know how long this takes, but we got that selected. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the run. And then I'm going to hit OK. Okay, that was it. It scared me for a sec. The check engine light came on, but it seems like we're all good in the hood. So that was it. We're done. Oh, hey, it's Monday morning. It's time to head over to the lab. But first, I want to do a real quick mod. You've probably seen these ST badges a million times. I make my own, and I think they're really cool. Going to swap these out real quick. These are black outline with red, and I think they'll look much better here. And so we're gonna do the front and rear. I'm gonna do some photos of this car today so we can get it posted on Marketplace. And I'd like it to be looking its best, so we're gonna have the new wheels on and the badges. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get that glue cleaned up. Okay, so now we just need to pull the adhesive strips, the backing for them, and stick it in place. If you want to get a set of these badges, I'll link them in the description. They're not that expensive. I'll make them all here in my little shop, and they look freaking cool. All right, that's all there is to it. Let's do the back real quick. All right, this goes just like this. And there we are. All done. And with that, let me show you what this thing used to look like if you didn't remember. Yeah, it was nasty. It's probably one of the worst nasty cars I worked on, but the result is absolutely phenomenal. All right, I came out to one of the local parks. You may recognize it, I don't know. Wanted to get a few shots of the car so I can put it on Marketplace when it's ready to go. Let's take a look. So that's going to do it for this build. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. I've had a lot of fun. We had a lot of stuff to get done on this car, from cleaning it up to actually putting a motor in it, getting it running, and now we're driving it. I'm going to put this up for sale. You'll probably be gone by the time you see the video, but if you're interested, you can hit me up. If it's already sold, I will update the video when I post it. But I think we did an awesome job. I'm ready for the next one. Let me know what you think I should build next in the comments. I'll see ya.